Good evening and Independence Day greetings to you all. I am Tingney Tim Hokip bringing you today's news. Today's top headlines include Independence Day celebrated across country with Mary Meghan. PM Modi hoists national flag for 11th straight time. 78 Independence Day observed at Lamka, Kangpokpi and More. Thado Tribe Council General Headquarters refutes Manipur CM N. Biren Singh's allegation. News in details. In his first Independence Day address after his re-election for the third consecutive time this June, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called for a secular civil code and one nation, one election, terming both these reforms as the call of the time. The Prime Minister delivered his longest Independence Day speech at 98 minutes as he addressed the country from the ramparts of historic Red Fort. Sporting a Rajasthani Leheriya turban, Modi, delivering his 11th straight Independence Day address, also vowed to continue his war against corruption, notwithstanding the personal price he has to pay for this. I want to create an atmosphere of fear for the corrupt. The glorification of the corrupt must end. My war against corruption will continue, even though I am aware of the personal price I have to pay for it. But for me, the country is greater than self, he said. The Prime Minister again sent out a message of solidarity with the Hindus and other religious minorities of Bangladesh, even as he said, India wished Bangladesh well for its development journey. He, however, urged the Bangladesh government to secure the Hindus and the minorities in the wake of August 6 change of dispensation there. Speaking close on the heels of fresh allegations by U.S. short seller Hindenburg Research against Indian market regulator chief and top industrialist Gautam Adani, Modi said the world should not fear India's rise. Taking a veiled jibe at the Congress-led opposition for being unable to digest India's growth and warning against such disruptive forces, the PM said forces within and outside were ranged against India, but India is adept at challenging the challenges. Let the world not be concerned about a rising India. I ask the world not to try and understand our culture and not to consider us a danger. I urge the world not to associate with forces which compel and peace-loving and a pro-friendship nation to struggle more, the PM said. He said India's progress is not and can never be a challenge to anyone in the world, and contrarily, it will strengthen the world. We are a country of Buddha. War is not our path, he assured the global forces, hinting at the attempts by external forces to attempt halting India's growth story. The 78th Independence Day was successfully celebrated in the district at Tuibong Peace Ground under the grace of the DC of Churachandpur, Darun Kumar. Darun Kumar graces the program as the chief guest and the parade commander, and his team salute the DC on his arrival, followed by the unveiling of the national flag by the chief guest, Darun Kumar DC Churachandpur. It was followed by inspection of the Merspass contingent by DC Churachandpur, SP Churachandpur, and Supreme Commander. Then the 30 contingents performed Merspass procession, which was followed by Independence Day message from the chief guest. He gives honor to the patriotic leaders and soldiers who fight for the country's independence, and further says that this celebration was made possible due to their sacrifices. He also says that India is a diverse country due to which it keeps on developing every year in every field. He also says that the people of Churachandpur district are also like one family living together in the same house, though speaking different dialects. He requires the people to be unified and bring positive changes and development to the district. Even though the state conflict still remains unsolved, the IDPs are given ration by the district administration, he added. He also thanked the public for supporting the district administration in whatever they have been doing till that, and urged everyone to work towards bringing back peace and normalcy. The program ended with a vote of thanks from Thangboy Gangte MCS ADC Chorachandpur. Different vibrant and captivating performances such as cultural dance choreography and award distribution were performed by various groups during the program. Also, government employees of the district who shows excellence in executing their duties were given honor during the program by giving them awards for their excellence performance. Total numbers of awards given today was 155, which include prizes for the best march past procession by the various contingents. In the senior category, first position goes to Rayburn NCC Junior Wing Girls, second Rayburn NCC Senior Division, third Sisipur College NCC Senior Wing, and among the school category, first position goes to JNV Boys, second JNV Girls, and third Vimala Boys respectively. The 78th Independence Day celebration was also observed at Kangpo Pi district, which garnered the fortitude to usher in peace and tranquility over dissidents and turmoil. Prior to Independence Day, bike rallies were carried out by various CSOs and district police in different locations of Kangpo Pi district yesterday. With this regard, Ko2 issued a release depicting the presidential speech. The speech said this day marks the unified brotherhood with denizens within Kangpo Pi district, irrespective of caste and creed. With the celebration of Indian Independence Day, the Committee on Tribal Unity discerned the truth from prevarication and strive for justice and rule of law against nepotism and hegemony. These show in ourselves a true spirit of being an Indian, to uphold the values of constitutional democracy, preserve our institutions from the ideals of fascism and authoritarianism, so that our great nation, India, will be the voice of the voiceless, a strength to the weaklings, and a mother to all her tribe, caste, creed, and religion, said the release. Therefore, the Kukizo community, while enduring 16 months of unabated atrocities and hegemony, 16 months of relentless display of hatred and hostility, 16 months of systematic desecration of democratic institutions and wanton subjugation on our political exigencies in the region, we, as the patriotic Indians, will strive for the greater good of the nation, to do good against evil, to espouse truth and abhor lies, to maintain decency and civility towards our foe as we stand with our fellow Indians, our Jawans at the northwestern frontier in Jammu and Kashmir, our Jawans at the northern frontiers in Arunachal Pradesh and Sikkim, our Jawans in the northeastern regions of Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Manipur, and Tripura, who along with our braveheart village volunteers protecting our lives, our homes and villages, who sacrifice theirs for our tomorrow. We celebrate the 78th Independence Day on this day, the 15th of August 2024, in Sadar Hills, Kangpo Pi, Lamka, Chorachandpur, Jiribam, Tengnopal, and Chandel, to give ourselves sense of hope and fulfillment. The release further said, may this 78th Independence Day be a day to realize our freedom from oppression and tyranny, justice and liberty from the clutches of nepotism and hegemony. Let this 78th Independence Day celebration fulfill our long-cherished dream of civil liberty and a place to call our own, so that the sacrifices made by our forefathers during the Anglo-Kuki War against the mighty British imperialists spanning 3 consecutive years, that is 1917 to 1919, in a quest towards nation building of the Republic of India, stands justified to demand a piece of legislation under Article 239A of the Constitution of India, a territory under the Union Government of India, with local representation of our own, so as to safeguard the generations of those unsung heroes from being completely annihilated in the northeastern regions of the country. Indian Arms celebrated 78th Independence Day with school children at Di Monapai, More in Tengnopal district. In a befitting tribute to celebrate the spirit of independence and nationhood, the Indian Army celebrated 78th Independence Day Vikas Bharat event at Boulder Village near Indo-Myanmar border at Di Monapai, More in Tengnopal district on 15 August 2024. The event began with spectacular flag hoisting ceremony followed by the national anthem, post which the company commander highlighted the rich history and heritage of our motherland, valor of freedom fighters and unique diversity of our nation to instill a sense of patriotism and national integrity among the young children and the local community. The exuberance and active participation of the 100 young children and the local population made the event a grand success. The event showcases the Indian Army's deep-rooted commitment towards inclusive community development along with instilling a sense of security. The Kangvai Area ITLF Women Wing held a protest early today morning to show their discontentment towards the actions of the Home Ministry. The main reason behind today's morning ITLF Women Wing Kangvai area protest was the transfer of the 9 Assam Rifles and replacing them with CRPF. The protesters said that not only the Kangvai area but the whole community is against the stationing of CRPF in Kuki-dominated areas, replacing the Assam Rifles, and that they will never accept this action and order of the Home Ministry under any circumstances. They also asked the Home Ministry to dissolve his order of replacing Assam Rifles with CRPF in the fringe and vulnerable areas of the conflict-ridden state. The protest further asked the Home Ministry to re-station the Assam Rifles in the allocated places and stations. The Thado Tribe Council General Headquarters TTC-GHQ, representing the Thado tribe, has strongly rejected the recent claims made by Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh. In a statement issued following Singh's address to the Manipur State Assembly on August 12, 2024, the Thados labeled the Chief Minister remarks as baseless. With this regard, the TTC General Headquarters issued a press release disagreeing the remark made by the Chief Minister N. Biren Singh as baseless statement during his address on the floor of the Manipur State Assembly on August 12, 2024. He claimed that he was considering inviting the Thados as per their proposal to Imphal with a team of 20 to 30 people expected to attend. He also stated that more proposals had come from Kuki-Zo Cognate tribes. These claims are false and unfounded. The Thado Tribe Council, the apex body of the Thado tribe, has no knowledge of such developments, and anything outside the council's purview is invalid. The release further said that N. Biren Singh's statement appears to be an attempt to mislead the people of Manipur and is a form of cheap propaganda to appease his political superiors in Delhi. The Thados are a peace-loving and the largest tribe in present-day Manipur. Nonetheless, we remain determined to achieve justice and a substantial political solution before peace can be secured. The TTC General Headquarters also feels it is necessary to clarify the issue surrounding the newly surfaced Thado Community International. The Thado Tribe Council General Headquarters has no knowledge of the formation of this so-called Thado Community International and was never consulted about its creation. Every Thado-based organization, including youth, women and student bodies, was established following proper procedures and, most importantly, with the blessings of the TTC General Headquarters. Therefore, the so-called Thado Community International is a bogus entity formed by some non-resident Thado individuals with vested interests in collusion with the Chief Minister N. Biren Singh. Lastly, the so-called Thado Community International, led by 2 or 3 individuals, is believed to have been in constant contact with the Chief Minister of Manipur. This is evident as N. Biren Singh's statement in the Assembly was a response to an open letter from Thado Community International requesting not to be referred to as Kuki or by any other name. It is possible that the TCI leaders of 20 to 30 persons are whom the Chief Minister of Manipur expects to come to Imphal for peace negotiations. This insanity must stop outright, added the release. In a tragic incident, an Indian Army captain from the Rashtriya Rifles lost his life during a gunfight with terrorists in an ongoing op assault in Jammu and Kashmir's Doda district on Wednesday. The security forces gunned down 4 terrorists during the encounter. According to officials, the captain was leading the charge at Safeguard Dar in Asar in Doda. The captain was spearheading the charge at around 7:30 in the morning. A standoff involving weapons took place within a thick woodland during a combing operation by a joint team. The mission was to find a group of alien militants hidden in Safeguard Asar vicinity. Currently nestled in the river-infested area of Asar, these militants have managed to infiltrate Doda from a forest in the neighboring Udhampur district after a quick spread of gunfire with the forces. The initial hostile encounter that broke out at 6 in the evening in Udhampur district on Tuesday was momentarily ceased and an overnight blockade was enforced. However, the operation to seek out the insurgents recommenced the following Wednesday. The gunfight between security forces and terrorists is still underway and the area has been cordoned off, news agency ANI reported citing defense official. At around 7:30 in the morning, a standoff involving weapons took place within a thick woodland during a combing operation by a joint team. The mission was to find a group of alien militants hidden in the Safeguard Asar vicinity. Currently nestled in the river-infested area of Asar, these militants had managed to infiltrate Doda from a forest in the neighboring Udhampur district after a quick spread of gunfire with the forces. The initial hostile encounter that broke out at 6 in the evening in Udhampur district on Tuesday was momentarily ceased and an overnight blockade was enforced. However, the operation to seek out the insurgents recommenced the following Wednesday. The crime scene in Kolkata's RG Kar Medical College and Hospital, where a 31-year-old doctor was raped and murdered last week, was not compromised in last night's mob violence, the city police have said. Responding to reports that the 4th-floor room where the crime took place has been vandalized, Kolkata police said in a post on X, "Crime scene is seminar room and it has not been touched. Don't spread unverified news." We will initiate legal action for spreading rumors. Last night, when neighborhoods across Bengal were witnessing massive gatherings by women to protest against the horrifying incident, a mob entered the medical college campus and went on to rampage. They attacked vehicles, damaged public property, and police has used tear gas shells to disperse the mob. Several police officers were injured in the clash. While it is not yet clear who is behind the mob violence, leader of the opposition, BJP Suvendu Adhikari, has alleged that Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee sent goons of the Trinamool College to disrupt the political protest rally near the hospital. Mamata Banerjee has sent her TMC goons to the political protest rally near RG Kar Medical College and Hospital. She thinks that she is the most shrewd person in the whole war and people won't be able to figure out the cunning plan that her goons are preparing as protesters would. She thinks that she is the most shrewd person in the whole war and people won't be able to figure out the cunning plan that her goons are preparing as protesters would mix with the crowd and carry out vandalism inside the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital. They were given safe passage by the police, who either ran away or looked the other way, so that these lumpen would enter the hospital premises and destroy areas containing crucial evidence so that it doesn't get picked up by the CBI, the BJP leader added. Abhishek Banerjee, Trinamool Congress General Secretary and number 2 in the party, said the hooliganism and vandalism at RG Kar tonight exceeded all acceptable limits. As a public representative, I just spoke with CP Kolkata, urging him to ensure that every individual responsible for today's violence is identified, held accountable, and met to face the law within the next 24 hours, regardless of their political affiliations. The demands of the protesting doctors are fair and justified. This is the minimum they should expect from the government. Their safety and security must be prioritized, Mr. Banerjee said in a post on X. The CBI is now investigating the rape and murder case that has shaken the nation. The central agency took over the investigation after the Kolkata High Court noted that Kolkata police have made no significant progress in the case and transferred the case. The parents of the victim have filed a petition seeking a probe monitored by the court to ensure evidence is not tampered with. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday announced that the government will create 75,000 new seats in medical colleges over the next 5 years. Addressing the nation on Independence Day, the Prime Minister stated that in the last 10 years, the government has ensured nearly 100,000 medical seats in India. However, even today, many children, mostly from the middle class, go abroad for medical education, spending lakhs and crores on overseas medical education. Every year, around 25,000 youths move to other nations for medical education. Some students move to countries that cause me significant concern. Due to this, we have decided that in the next 5 years, we will create 75,000 new medical seats. He said. Prime Minister Modi also spoke about increasing the number of hospitals in recent years and raising the total number of medical seats to help aspiring medical students achieve their dreams. We have expanded the health infrastructure by sanctioning an increase in the number of hospitals. We have also announced an increase in the number of MBBS seats in medical colleges so that our children can fulfill their dream of serving the nation as doctors, he claimed. This aligns with the Union Health and Family Welfare Ministry's claims of doubling the undergraduate MBBS and postgraduate PG seats in medical studies over the past 10 years. According to data released by the Health Ministry, MBBS seats increased to 108,940 in 2023-24, a 112% increase from 51,348 seats available in 2013-14. Similarly, there were 70,674 PG seats in the country in 2023-24, a 127% increase from 31,185 PG seats available in 2013-14. The ministry attributed this growth to the increase in the number of medical colleges, which subsequently increases MBBS seats. According to data shared by the Health Ministry in the Rajya Sabha, there has been an 82% increase in the number of medical colleges from 387 in 2013-14 to 706 in 2023-24. The Ukrainian military claimed on Wednesday night to have carried out simultaneous drone strikes on 4 separate Russian airfields in the regions of Voronezh, Kursk, and Nizhny Novgorod. The long-distance strikes, which Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky described in his daily evening television address as timely and accurate, hit the Russian Air Forces Khalino, Savaleyka, Borisov-Glebsk, and Baltimore airfields. The main targets were warehouses of fuel and lubricants and aviation weapons, read a statement from the Ukrainian General Staff, adding that Su-34 fighter bombers, Su-35 fighters, and other military aircraft of the enemy are based on these airfields. The statement did not confirm whether any planes or other targets were destroyed, saying, "The results of the attack are being clarified." Zelensky thanked the military and said Ukrainian drones work exactly as they should. Earlier, the Russian Defense Ministry said its air defenses had intercepted 117 drones and 4 tactical missiles launched by Ukrainian at several regions including Kursk, the site of an ongoing Ukrainian ground incursion, which Zelensky said on Wednesday was going well. The southern Ukrainian port city of Odessa was targeted by a Russian missile strike on Wednesday night, leaving at least 2 people injured. Ukrainian officials said a port employee and a grain carrier driver were injured when a Russian ballistic missile struck port infrastructure in Ukraine's main Black Sea port. Ukraine's port facilities have come under more frequent fire since Russia withdrew from the Black Sea grain deal in 2023, which had guaranteed safe passage for shipments of Ukrainian grain to key destinations such as Africa. Despite not possessing a navy of note, Kyiv has effectively driven Russia's Black Sea fleet out of the region and established its own maritime grain corridor. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says his country's forces are strictly following humanitarian law and international conventions as they advance into the western Russian region of Kursk. Zelensky said the issue was discussed at a meeting of the Ukrainian leadership and that humanitarian aid had been prepared for the civilian population of the Ukraine-controlled swatch of Russia. The Ukrainian president said representatives of international organizations would be allowed access to the areas. The International Committee of the Red Cross, the United Nations and other international organizations that provide humanitarian aid are to be allowed into Ukrainian-occupied Kursk, officials said. Ukraine says its army will allow the evacuation of civilians from Russia's Kursk region and open up the area to international humanitarian organizations. Our military forces plan to open humanitarian corridors for the evacuations of civilians, both in the direction of Russia and of Ukraine, Deputy Prime Minister Irina Vereshchuk said after a meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and other top officials. Speaking after the same meeting, Interior Minister Igor Klimenko said Ukraine would create a buffer zone in the region to stop Russia across border strides. The creation of a buffer zone in the Kursk region is a step to protect our border communities from daily hostile shelling, he said. The United States has been urging other countries through diplomatic channels to tell Iran that escalation in the Middle East is not in their interest, as State Department spokesperson said on Monday at what Secretary of State Antony Blinken called a critical moment for the region. Blinken said Washington was engaged in intense diplomacy pretty much around the clock to help calm tensions amid fears Iran is preparing a retaliatory strike against Israel. One alone get cast against your mutual funds in 4 hours. All parties must refrain from escalation, Blinken said during a signing ceremony with his Australian counterpart in Washington. All parties must take steps to ease tensions. Escalation is not in anyone's interest. It will only lead to more conflict, more violence, more insecurity. Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh was assassinated in the Iranian capital, Tehran, last week. An attack that drew threats of revenge on Israel and fueled further concern that the conflict in Gaza was turning into a wider Middle East war. Iran has blamed Israel and said it will punish it. Israeli officials have not claimed responsibility for the killing. Iran-backed Hamas, which is at war with Israel in Gaza, and also the Lebanese group Hezbollah, whose senior military commander, Fuad Shukar, was killed in an Israeli strike on Beirut last week, U.S. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris were briefed by their national security team on the situation in the Middle East, including threats posed by Iran and its proxies to Israel and U.S. service members, the White House said. They were also briefed about an attack on Iraq's Al-Assad air base on Monday and discussed the U.S. response. During that briefing, Biden and Harris were told by their national security team that it is still unclear when Iran and Hezbollah are likely to launch an attack against Israel and the specifics of such an attack, according to a U.S. official. At least 5 U.S. personnel were wounded in the rocket strike, U.S. officials told Reuters. It was unclear whether the attacks was linked to threats by Iran to retaliate over Haniyeh's killing, in which the U.S. said it had no involvement. Biden and Harris were also updated on U.S. efforts to support Israel militarily if it is attacked and diplomatic efforts to de-escalate regional tensions and reach a ceasefire and hostage release deal in Gaza. Blinken earlier on Monday spoke with Qatari Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani and Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati. One of the points of the engagement that have had is to urge countries to pass messages to Iran and urge countries to make clear to Iran that it is very much not in their interest to escalate this conflict, that it is very much not in their interest to launch another attack on Israel, said State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller. Miller speaking at a press briefing, did not say definitely whether or not Washington's messages have been disseminated to Iran or through which channel. I would expect that some of them would pass that message along and impress that point upon the government of Iran, he added. Blinken in his remarks also called for parties to break this cycle of violence and agree a ceasefire in the Gaza conflict, despite the killing of Haniyeh, who was a key figure in the negotiations between Israel and Hamas. What it comes down to really is all parties finding ways to come to an agreement, not look for reasons to delay or to say no, Blinken said. It is urgent that all parties make the right choices in the hours and days ahead. With the removal of Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin from office by a court ruling after less than a year in power, Thailand has been thrown into political turmoil once again. Reading the Constitutional Court's decision on Wednesday, Judge Punya Utchachon said the judges ruled 5-4 in favor of dismissing Srettha of the Pheu Thai party as he had shown no honesty and breached ethical standards by appointing someone with a criminal conviction to his cabinet. Utchachon said the real estate tycoon had failed to perform his duty with integrity and grossly violated ethics, as he must have known about former lawyer Pichit Chunban's criminal record when he appointed him as a minister in his office in a cabinet reshuffle in April. Pichit, who was jailed for 6 months in 2008 for attempting to bribe court officials with 2 million baht, placed in a paper grocery bag, resigned from the post in May in an attempt to protect Srettha. But that month, Constitutional Court judges voted 6-3 to accept a petition submitted by 40 senators to remove Srettha from office. Wednesday's ruling came at the end of their investigation into the allegations. Srettha's dismissal means he is Thailand's fourth prime minister in 16 years to be removed following rulings by the Constitutional Court. He told reporters outside his office that, while he respects the verdict, he was said to be labeled dishonest. The decision came as a surprise to many in Thailand, according to Hemthong Tonsapkul Rungrong, a lecturer in the Faculty of Political Science at Thailand's Chulalongkorn University. Most speculated that Srettha would be acquitted, so it's a big shock that I don't think many people were prepared for, he told Al Jazeera. The accusation itself is very trivial. Appointing Pichit is a bad political decision, for sure, but to say that he is acting in a dishonest or criminal way, that's too far for most people. Hemthong said the ruling shows no office is secure in this country and there's always some legal pitfall that anyone can fall into. Pheu Thai is now scrambling to form a replacement candidate with the Thai parliament to convene a special session to vote on the issue at 10 a.m. on Friday. The party can choose only those who were nominated as prime ministerial candidates prior to the 2023 election. Ken Mathis Lohate Panont, a Thai political commentator and PhD candidate in the Department of Political Science at the University of Michigan, told Al Jazeera that 75-year-old former Pheu Thai Justice Minister Chaikasen Nitisiri was currently the favorite to get the nod. Another leading contender is 37-year-old Pheu Thai leader Paetongtarn Shinawatra, the daughter of former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, and niece of Yingluck Shinawatra, also a former Prime Minister. Thaksin was removed in a military coup in 2006 and Yingluck in 2014. Former South Carolina government Nikki Haley, who challenged Donald Trump in the Republican primary, said he should quit whining about Kamala Harris if he wants to win in November. As some polls saw Harris gaining momentum in key swing states, Haley weighed in on Trump's campaign strategy during a Fox News interview Tuesday. She said the Republican presidential nominee should quit complaining that the vice president has not done a sit-down interview since launching her campaign. She added he should focus on policy instead of crowd sizes or personal attacks on Harris to win over moderate voters. We knew it was going to be hard. She is not going to give an interview. They are going to hold out as long as they can. That's their right. They can do it, Haley told Fox Brett Baier. That doesn't mean we can't talk about what she believes in. And we should be getting out there and doing that. Haley has been highly critical of the former president and was booed as she walked on the stage to give her strong endorsement to Trump and the Republican National Convention. After dropping out of the primary, she sent a letter to a group of former Haley voters now supporting Harris, demanding it stop using her name, which the group said it plans to ignore. In July, Haley warned Republicans in a CNN interview that attacks over Harris' race, age, and gender are not helpful. She repeated the point Tuesday. You can't win on those things. The American people are smart. Treat them like they are smart. It's not about her. It's about the American people. Talk to them and let them know you need their vote, Harris said. That is all for today's news, and have a pleasant evening ahead.